Welcome to Medical Minutes here on Time Warner Cable DMG TV2. This segment, we are at the Ohio State University Extension Office in New Philadelphia. We have the ag educator, our agriculture educator, Chris Zoller, along with the 4-H program coordinator, Barb Airgood. And the reason the both of them are on this segment is we're talking about bird flu. The bird flu apparently is so bad that we're not going to be able to have any poultry products at the Tuscarawas County Fair. So, Barb, let's start with you. Being 4-H, that's got to be a huge hit for 4-H projects if they can't show any kind of poultry.
That's right. We had 225 members this year enroll in poultry projects.
225 kids that can't show.
That's right. And so because of the ban on poultry, we are not able to have birds on exhibit at the fair. So those 225 4-Hers aren't able to bring their birds. Consequently, it kind of hit us at a bad time. We were just en route when we had the conference call about the ban to pick up our turkeys, our market turkeys, for our 4-Hers that were taking that project. So we went ahead and distributed the market turkeys. However, we did not get the market chickens. So the 4-Hers were given a chance by a certain date to switch projects, take another small animal project they could take to the fair, or just drop the project. We had 59 4-Hers complete their projects in poultry, and they will be exhibiting an educational display in the 4-H project area.
Now, what's an educational display?
Well, it could be a poster, or it could be something to show the people about their project. So an example would be maybe a stuffed chicken, and they would label the parts of it, or maybe a poster with some pictures of their chickens, because you know those boys and girls that raise pullets, our egg layers, or our fancy chickens have some beautiful birds to show off. So they could include some pictures of those birds. So this will complete their projects, and then because it is a small animal project, they will get a share then of our small animal sale, just like our regular rabbits that are exhibited at the fair.
How'd you come up with an elaborate plan like that?
Well, it was kind of quick. We had to quickly make a decision because people wanted to know what's going to happen. Because the minute that conference call took place, the media got hold of it. People were calling here, what are we going to do? What about the chickens? So we had to make that decision along with the Senior Fair Board, just what we were going to do for our 4-Hers.
All right, now when you're talking poultry, you said turkeys, we've got chickens. What else does that include?
Ducks. Of course, our fancy, our egg layers. Right in our county, the only other thing we have is ducks. Sometimes we might have a goose or so, but basically the biggest project is our market turkey and market chickens.
Now, some people were able to go ahead and, you said you've already received their turkeys, so they went ahead and raised them. They just have to keep them away from the fairgrounds.
That's right. They're not allowed to bring them to exhibit them at the fairgrounds. And some of our members completed that project. Some just dropped it, you know, and are raising out their turkeys.
And we're talking about the Tuscarawas County Fair, which is nearly the end of September. But there was the state fair and other things that they need to do, judging. How did they get through those?
Okay, they did interview judging. That's just asking questions and explaining about their project. Of course, there was no birds at the state fair, so there were no exhibitors going on to state fair. And in our county, if you want to exhibit a livestock animal at the state fair, you do that kind of independently. You have to be enrolled in the project, but you do it independently. Our miscellaneous projects, of course, they're selected based on how they do at judging.
All right, now the big question is, what is this bird flu and why is it so terrible? Chris, why don't we get that from you?
It's bird flu or avian influenza, it's referred to, and it's something that in the domestic flock carries, wild birds carry it, but oftentimes don't shed it, but don't show signs of it. And so when we've got...
So is this something that kills the poultry off?
Yes, there were several 100,000 birds that died as a result of that throughout the country. It's not been confirmed in Ohio yet, and so ODA, Department of Agriculture, took steps to try to prevent it from coming into Ohio.
And they just said no more poultry at any of the county fairs or state fairs?
Right, county and state fairs, even flea markets, any place where someone might want to sell poultry, exhibit poultry, that's not allowed in Ohio right now.
And what does that do to the industry, you know, when you sell chickens through the grocery store? What does that do to it?
In some places it may raise the prices. Ohio, most folks probably don't know, is the second leading state in the country in egg production and ninth in turkey production. about $2.3 billion every year. So it's a pretty sizable industry.
Now, how has it impacted us so far? Is it, like you said, it's not in the state, but has it impacted prices in groceries?
I think there are some prices that have been affected by it. And the growers of those birds are being very vigilant in disinfecting and trying to keep their places clean. And it's something that scientists believe that maybe the hot weather has helped to suppress it, but we don't know what's going to happen this fall and winter when it cools off.
Now, as an agriculture educator, do people ask you about this stuff all the time, or is it only the people who raise these birds?
It's both. When the outbreak first hit, the big news hit, it was people who grow birds and those that are consumers asking questions about it. It's sort of died off now, so they don't have quite as many questions, but it's a mix of both growers and consumers.
Now, can people get bird flu?
No, they cannot. It's not contagious. It does not transfer from the bird to the human.
But if it kills off the birds, then we have to choose something else on our menu.
That's correct, yeah. And the other thing, too, is that poultry products are safe as long as they're cooked properly and handled properly. So the bird flu, avian influenza, does not affect the health of the consumer or the product that's produced.
Now, what do you think is going to happen from here? Do you think that we'll be able to eradicate it completely and not worry about it by, say, next year?
I don't know if it'll be next year. Hopefully, I mean, scientists are working on cures for it. And there's a lot of unknowns about it too. So we'll have to wait and see what happens this fall when it cools off. Does it come back? So we have folks who are studying that.
All right, very good. If you have any questions, you can always call the Extension office here in New Philadelphia. Our guests on this segment of Medical Minutes have been Barb Airgood. She is the Tuscarawas County 4-H coordinator, along with our agriculture educator from the Ohio State Extension office, Chris Zoller. And for Medical Minutes, I'm Jennifer Clark.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
Hi, I'm Elaine Miller with Naturally Green Cleaning Service. My company serves both commercial and residential clients. We do general cleaning, spring and fall, empty homes to get them move-in ready, and final cleans for new construction. We use eco-friendly cleaning products that leave your home or office fresh, clean, and safe for you, your family, pets, or coworkers. Our focus at Naturally Green is to provide excellent customer service paired with outstanding work to build a relationship of trust with you, our clients. Having served the area 4+ years, we have had many referrals and testimonials that you can access on our website at www.naturallygreencs.com. Our work sells itself, therefore we have never had any contracts even with our largest commercial accounts. Call us today for your free quote and see what makes our company stand out.
Hello, welcome back to Medical Minutes here on Time Warner Cable DMG TV2. This time around, we are in the Tuscarawas County Health Department. This is Myra Pancher. She is the Director of Environmental Health. And you have been on everyone's mind all summer long because we've been kind of concerned about West Nile virus. So first of all, explain, what is West Nile virus?
West Nile virus is carried by mosquitoes. Mosquito bites an infected bird, and that's where they actually get the West Niles from, and then it can go to people.
So what, do I just get sick like the flu, and can I die? Very rarely do people die from it. Say an infected mosquito bites 100 people, maybe 1 out of that 100 will show any kind of symptoms of West Nile. And generally when it starts out, it's headache, fever, sore neck, sore back. That could be anything.
Basically, yes.
So how do you know if you think you have West Nile?
You'll get tested. I mean, if you can't figure out, it's not a 24-hour bug, and you would just ask for testing to see if you had it. But it's so sporadic.
And it's just a blood test? Is it something simple?
Yeah, you can tell by blood test.
Now tell me about these mosquitoes. Are they specific types of mosquitoes, or it's just your common everyday thing you find in the backyard?
It's mainly the Culex mosquitoes. We have known in Tuscarawas County that we have had West Niles for quite a while. Back in 2007, 2008, we were testing birds. Birds were showing up in people's yards dead, and the state wanted us to submit, at that time it was crows, blue jays, and grackles. And then there came a point where they just told us to quit submitting specimens because they already knew it was in all 88 counties.
So don't you want to know what part of the county it is? They don't care anymore? They don't want to see the birds?
Now that was, that's when they defined that we did have West Niles in the area. But brought this on with testing setting the traps out. ODH had students that were from Ohio State University. They were interns, and that's what they did. They went around and set up these traps all around the county.
All right, so instead of testing dead birds, we're looking at trapping the actual mosquitoes and finding the carrier mosquito that we really want to find. What do these traps look like?
There's two different ones. There's a grab light test, and then there's one that uses actually dry ice. One sits on top of the water, and one is up hanging from like a tree. And the gas is attracted. And they get trapped in there, and then they send them away and they analyze them.
So I'm picturing dry ice in a cage. What does it look like?
It's basically, it has like a bottom in it, then a netting, and it has, the dry ice and the light actually attracts the mosquitoes, and then they go up and they get trapped. And then that's how they end up being tested.
And then when they find West Nile, which they have in New Philadelphia, in Newcomerstown, and Denison, in Tuscarawas County, what do you do once you figure out, hey, there's the mosquito?
Like I said before, we've already known since '07 that we've had it here. I think it's being blown way out of proportion. It's not an imminent danger or a public hazard. We have had no known cases in Tuscarawas County. I believe the closest might be Cuyahoga Falls. And I believe statewide there was only 11 over the whole state.
Still, all you have to do is say, some exotic name like West Nile virus, and the public does become very concerned.
They do become concerned, and that's why they need to be educated that it's not a severe problem here.
All right, and so we have to spray some more. There's more things to do once we find that West Nile is active in our area, right?
Right. Once we found it was in Denison, it was in Shumbrun Village and Newcomerstown. Newcomerstown actually sprays their own mosquitoes. We notified them. They're doing their control. Lee Finley at New Philly Health Department was doing Shumbrun, and we're doing Denison. And normally 3 more sprays would eliminate. That's what the state recommends, but we're actually doing more spraying. We sprayed last week on Wednesday. I had somebody spray last night. Somebody's going to spray Friday again, and then we're going to spray twice next week.
And the spray, I see the truck driving down the middle of the road. Does it go very far? I don't think it's hitting my backyard.
We drive it between 5 and 10 miles per hour. That's so we can get the spray out and make it more effective to work as it filters down. We only go where we're hired to go. When West Niles is detected, they want us to spray in a mile radius. So that's what we've been doing around the 3 areas in the county. If more wants to be sprayed, we send out letters at the beginning of the season to the villages and the townships, and they send them back in saying whether or not they do want to be on the mosquito program. And then it has to be a township trustee or a mayor or some official to call in and actually order the spraying because there is a charge.
Yeah, that was my next question. How much does it cost to get some mosquito spraying?
It's $3.10 a minute, and like I said, an individual just can't order it. They have to get it.
Oh, so if I'm having a party, I can't have you come spray my property?
Unless you call your township trustee and say, hey, we need this area sprayed. But we do not do private parties or properties. It would have to be county road or something like that, and that's all we'd get done is going up people's private drives.
So you can take precautions in your own yard, though. The standing water, you really need to take care of that, right?
Correct. If you have bird baths with stagnant water, you want to get rid of them. If you have tires laying around, swimming pool covers, tree trunks that maybe are hollowed out and have water standing in them, anything that's showing stagnant standing water has the probability of breeding mosquitoes.
Now, does temperature matter? Because some part of the summer is all rain, and then the other part of the summer it was 90s and sweltering.
Right. We did have a lot of rain, and I think that's why we actually got the 3 tests that we did get, because of all the rain. But as for spraying, if it gets below 55 degrees, we can't spray. It's too cold.
So that kills off the mosquitoes anyway?
They don't like to come out when it's cold. So, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't do any good because there'd be so few that would be out in that temperature. It would basically be a waste of people's money.
All right. And other precautions, wear long sleeves, long pants?
Wear long sleeves, put your repellent also on the outside of your clothing. Try to stay indoors at dusk till dawn. That's when they're most active, is, it's starting to turn dusk. And just, protect yourself. If you have screen windows that are ripped or torn, or open windows, they can come in there. You want to make sure everything's closed up.
All right, but again, you said that it's not as a concern as people may think. West Nile virus carried by mosquitoes, it can be treated and it's not fatal.
It can be treated, yes. Especially if you catch it early enough, there's no problem with it. And like I said, out of 100 people that may be bitten by a mosquito that actually has the West Nile virus, maybe 1 in that 100 will show any symptoms at all.
All right, and so far in Tuscarawas County this year, we have had no cases of humans contracting West Nile virus.
That's correct, we have none.
All right, very good. I feel much better. Myra Pancher, she is with the Tuscarawas County Health Department. She is the Director of Environmental Health. And for Medical Minutes, I'm Jennifer Clark.
Searching for quality bottled water? Call Crystal Springs Water Company. Crystal Springs Water is a family-owned and operated company that's been proudly serving the community since 1986. Crystal Springs offers a quality bottled water in a variety of sizes to suit your everyday needs. They also carry a selection of water coolers, cups, bottle racks, hydro pumps, and premium water softening salts. All available for pickup or delivery. Call Crystal Springs Water Company today.
Hi, I'm TV2 Sports Talk's Bill Morgan. Some people are outstanding at playing sports, and then there's me. While we at TV2 Sports Talk may have never been All-State on the field, we are Tuscarawas County's MVP when it comes to local television sports talk and play-by-play. Catch TV2 Sports Talk Wednesday nights at 7 and Friday afternoons at 5 on DMG Channel 2.
Welcome to Medical Minutes here on Time Warner Cable DMG TV2. With us is a very special guest visiting the Tuscarawas County area. His name is Joe Dertinger, and he is with Shriners Hospital. He is a patient advocate, ambassador. You do all kinds of things for Shriners Hospital. Tell me a little bit about Shriners first. You've heard of Shriners Hospital, but maybe not know exactly what they do. What's Shriners?
Well, Shriners Hospitals, from our own perspective, is before I was born, all my parents knew is that they drove the go-karts in the parade. But after my being born and missing a leg on my right leg and missing a couple of fingers on each hand, they know that they do amazing care. And because of what they do for me and over 1 million other kids, I've had a prosthetic leg my whole life and had the 2 fingers separated, and I've been able to live a very active life.
So were there a number of surgeries involved?
I had a couple. I had one to amputate the foot, one to separate the fingers, and I had another one that had a plate in my knee in about 7th grade, just a kind of corrective surgery. But I've done very well because of all the great care there.
So how long were you in medical care before you just assumed a normal life?
Well, I had my foot amputated when I was 14 months old and got my first prosthetic at about 16 months. So
16 months you're out running around on a prosthetic leg.
I picked it up pretty quick because, like my parents said, a light came on me. So I picked it up pretty quick, and you know, something I always wanted to do, and watching my twin sister run around, so it was just kind of wanted to go, and that was the quickest way to it.
Now you're also very athletic, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of downhill ski racing, and I'm working towards the Paralympic level. I was ranked 8th in the country as of last season, and hopefully be making the Paralympic team for the 2018 games in South Korea.
Now, as an ambassador for Shriners Hospital, though, that's got to keep you busy from training.
Yeah, I was really busy this whole past year. It's just a 1-year position. I went all the way around the country, coast to coast, places like Las Vegas, Boston, Florida, just anywhere out here, and proud to be in Ohio now.
Did you win any money in Vegas? No, I'm kidding. But what do you do when you visit all these different towns? What do you tell everybody?
Well, it's kind of just my role to represent the over 1 million patients of Shriners Hospital. So I just get to be the example of all the great care they do, and just kind of go out and inform the public.
So it's more of an awareness campaign versus a fundraising campaign.
Yeah, it's kind of almost the best hidden secret ever. So it's kind of my job to get the word out there and to show what the Shriners are doing.
All right, now tell me more about how you adapt to the rest of us. I have 2 legs and 2 full hands, so I don't take it for granted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess in my own life I never really knew what it was like otherwise. I've always just had the 3 fingers and missing 1 leg, so I kind of looked at it as this is what I have and make the best of it.
And then when you train, do you have special ski equipment that you need?
The only thing I have that's adaptive or not just off the shelf stuff, I just have 1 piece of foam that goes around the pipe on my leg to fill up room in the ski boot, and that's it. Otherwise, just all normal equipment.
And how do you do?
Pretty good. It's been working for me so far.
When you are in different competitions, do you always come in first?
Not always, no. I'm working my way up to that level as ranked 8th in the country, but hopefully be one of the best in the country and hopefully best in the world someday.
Oh, great goals. You have a fabulous positive attitude. Where does that come from?
I don't know. I guess I've always had some kind of a drive to want to be the best that I can be. And because of the great care I've had at the hospital, I've been able to do that and keep doing it.
You have a twin sister and your parents travel with you. Do you get any inspiration from them too?
Absolutely. They're, my team almost. So they're my biggest support base, and they do a lot for me.
And what are you going to do when you're here in Dover?
Well, just kind of the same thing I've been doing. Just spread the word and hopefully give some inspiration to people and take it for whatever they need.
Now, we're here at the Dover First Moravian Church, and Pastor John Wallace has let us use his lobby here. But you know him from way back, right?
Yep, he was the pastor in my town back in Waconia, Minnesota. And he was kind of our second family before he moved out here to Ohio. So I'm glad we got to keep in touch, and I'm honored that he invited me out.
You didn't have to twist your arm a little bit and say, hey, come out to Ohio. It's a pretty far drive.
Yeah, it's a long ways, but I'm proud to be here.
And when you do speak to people and you say, you can do anything no matter what your obstacles, do you inspire them as well? What do they tell you?
Well, I hope so. I've heard several times that I'm inspiring, but I just hope that I can be the example for them and show them that anything's possible if you work hard enough for it.
Now, you have a twin sister. Who's older?
She's older by 2 minutes.
Great. I'm sure she loves that. And if you could do one more thing before you're done with your ambassadorship, what are you going to do?
Well, I guess keep doing what I'm doing, just inspire as many people as I can. That's really what I'm happy to do.
So where do you go from Ohio? Do you have another destination on your way?
Back to Minnesota, some more local stuff around there.
All right, very good. Joe Dertiger, he is the ambassador, or one of the patient youth ambassadors for Shriners Hospital, here visiting with us at Dover First Moravian Church. And for Medical Minutes, I'm Jennifer Clark.